Hey everybody, welcome to Knox Makers. It's our Tuesday night show and share. We do this every week here at 7 o'clock, and it's a great time. We share things we've made or are making, things that have succeeded or failed, and we help each other and learn from each other and revel in our successes, and it's wonderful. We will start tonight off with a share by Bill Cressy, who's going to talk to us about a floating cross and a barrel of monkeys, Knox Makers style. Is Bill in the house? I don't see him. He stepped out.
He's still giving a tour out there.
Oh, shoot. All right, we're going to roll Bill a little later in the list. We're going to go instead with Kristen B., who's going to show us some metal sublimation prints and faux stained glass with wood and resin, and I'm excited to see this. You should be too. Welcome up, Kristen.
Okay, really quickly, I'm going to pass this one around. It's just a sublimation print of a picture I took of a koi pond. I really liked the ripple water effect on the metal, so I thought I'd let you all see it. This isn't the final one. This was one of the attempts in perfecting it, and then I gave the final one to the koi pond owner. So this is what I've got left. And then I really wanted to spend time talking about this piece. So it's not stained glass. It is in fact laser cut wood, and then it has it's a 1/4 inch, and then an 1/8 of an inch acrylic on the back, and UV resin for each of the center ones. I did a layer of clear resin to seal any gaps to make sure the color didn't bleed. And then I started making all different kinds of color with alcohol inks and some mica in a few of them for some like shimmery iridescent pattern. But the content of this is the pawpaw tree and flower and fruit. It is the largest native fruit that is edible in North America. You probably haven't heard of it because it has no shelf life and it can't be sold in a store. But it is a beautiful fruit. I love to forage it when it's ripe. Are there any questions? Yes.
How long did that take?
Way too long. I would say to even get the SVG file ready to print probably took me upwards of 10 hours. There was a lot of fiddling with the laser printer, a couple days spent trying to cut wood that was thicker than a 1/4 of an inch. And then I finally moved back down to a 1/4 inch to move forward in my project. So many hours. I took a couple days off work to get it finished, but I'm happy with the turnout. There is no stained acrylic. It is UV resin that I added dye to. What was that?
How do you cure it?
I have, it was a little UV light with a setting where it would go like 2 minutes at a time, and then also the sun. So when I wanted to do more, like when I got ahead of it where like the little lamp was holding me back, I would just take it out into the sun and let it cure that way.
Where can you find them?
All across North America. Yeah, I go picking at Seven Island Bird Park. If you go all the way down the path across the bridge, there's a ton of them, and they are ripe from the middle of August to the middle of September. Each tree has about a 2-week window of being ripe. They taste like a mix of a mango and a banana. A pawpaw. It's a 1/4 of an inch birch plywood.
Did you cut that on the laser cutter here?
Yeah, on Moonraker.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yeah.
About how long was the UV process?
It took me like 2 days because each one had probably 4+ layers of pouring because you have to do really thin. I would recommend not UV resin and epoxy resin. I've used like tabletop epoxy to redo my countertops, but there were a lot of like little tiny bubbles, and I thought that having UV would allow me a better working window to avoid that. But what happened was between the different layers, the wood and the resin released more off gas, so I got bubbles between layers instead of on the top. Learning, yes.
Did you use adhesive to connect the wood to the acrylic before you brought in the epoxy?
No, I just used the clear the clear resin first layer to really affix them together. Thank you.
Heads up, there are some seats up front. If you'd like to stand in the back, be our guest. But if you'd like to sit, don't be shy. We have seats and nobody here bites that I'm aware of. Bill stumbled in late, so I'm going to bypass him. He doesn't get to present today. I'm kidding. Bill, are you ready? Are you game, or do you need a minute? Okay, yeah, we're going to loop back to Bill. He's going to talk about a floating cross and some monkeys. One day you'll be able to get pawpaws from my property because we have planted some. $1,000 a piece.
YouTube is a very dangerous place to be, because as you're scrolling and you're doom scrolling and you're going and you're going and you're going, and it's like, I could do that. Yes, I made one. This is magnetized up on top, so the cross is floating in air. It's not supported except by a fishing line. So oftentimes during our show and share, we like to talk about, look at my success. Look how cool that looks. This is so neat. And then we also talk about, well, what did it take to get there and what went wrong? So my fishing line that I had at my house was like a 3-pound test, and it was 40 years old. It lasted a little bit, and then it broke. So I come to here yesterday, the Hack Rack. Great place to get stuff. They had fishing line on the Hack Rack yesterday. It was 50-pound test, and it's a 1/4 of an inch thick. And so your floating doesn't look as floating because it's a little bit more visible because it's pretty thick. So we have to find the right thing. And then when you're routering the top, if you've already put your magnet in, and if you've got too little clearance on the outside edge, when you run that top piece through the router, you see a lot of sparks because you hit the metal of the magnet. Oops, dumb move. I knew better than that. But I still saw this on YouTube. I was like, I've got a lot of scrap wood lying around. I wonder. And so the cross is made with half-lap joints. It's a woodworking term where you just kind of cut out a little groove and you put it together and it sticks together. It's really cool. And then I had cedar scraps laying around. So cedar, walnut, does it really go together? Not so much. But it was scrap wood, so it was there. So we went ahead and used it anyway. And we got that done. So that's the floating cross. Any questions?
Can you pull it out of there so we can see how it's
Magnet. Earlier today, I redid one, and my knot wasn't very good, and it just and come right up, and it just shot right through the whole thing, and it just did that. I'm a greedy person. I love to talk, so I did 2 today. So I should feel guilty, but I really don't. This one is kind of comical and kind of neat. May 30th, Daryl was doing blacksmithing over at Marble Springs. And he had a table in front of him, and kids were playing with the metalwork. And I saw them doing something, and it reminded me and my wife both of a childhood game of ours from way back when the dinosaurs were still hanging out. There was a game that they played, and it was called Barrel of Monkeys. Anybody remember that? You got a barrel, you got the little plastic monkeys, you hook them up. I got a Knoxville version of it, Knox Makers. These kids were over at Daryl's table. Zzz, and they had all these little S-hooks, and they kept making chains. So I thought we can have a Knox Makers version of Barrel of Monkeys, and we'll get a barrel and a bunch of S-hooks, and we'll go Barrel of Monkeys and play our game using stuff out of the blacksmith shop. So typically an S-hook would be used cooking over a fire to hang pots off of a tripod or off of a piece of metal over a fire. You can use them for hanging pots inside of a kitchen. A lot of people will use it for that. Me being me, I got to come up with something else, something different, something unusual. And so I need to get a few more, and then we'll have to have a night of let's play Barrel of Monkeys together.
Dibs on the magnet.
Any-
You know, you can hang ribs from those too if you want to go real hard.
May 30th, there was a guy over there doing the living history demonstrations, and he basically had what looked like a hay fork, but you thrum it through a chicken and hook the chicken on it and put it over the fire, and that's how you cook the chicken vertically over the fire instead of over a spit going round and round and round. So I learned something new. But anyway, little kids and their toys. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks for giving a tour. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Jamie with, I'm reading swag lamp install, and I hope it's swag and not sway, but I'll take either.
Oh, yeah, it's a swag. Sweet. All right, so last time I was up here, I made a bracket. I welded a bracket, and that was for a project for my wife. And let's see if I can put in my password here. So to remind you, let's see, how's this show up? So I didn't make this, okay? This is the lamp my wife bought that was too big to go in a house. And from some auction somewhere, and she went and picked it up. So as I said last time, she was gonna sell it, and I hung it up in the gazebo, this gazebo here, and she liked how it looked, unfortunately. So then I had to make the bracket that we talked about the other day. So anyway, this wiring and stuff was really old, so I rewired it. And when I did that, I broke one of the branches. And so I got to solder that back together and put it back together. So here's the bracket I welded with my torch at home. And let's see. And, I guess I can't flip. So that's installed. So I wanted it at 90 degrees. I got it at 89.7, so that was pretty good. And then, so here's the lamp installed, hanging from the from my bracket. And I still got a lot of work to do. So I have like another week to go, Russell, before I finish this job. And so I was afraid, so this is going to be hanging outside. And this is made to hang inside. And so it's going to get some wind action on it. And I didn't want this to break, wear out and break and fall on somebody's head. So I decided, like mine. And so I put on a wire rope. And this is me trying to get the thing on there so I had to put a thimble on it and then swedged a aluminum thing there. So, but anyway, my bracket had to be adjusted to fit my new wire rope, and so here it is attached from the wire rope. This is kind of the concept to keep it from falling on my head, and so here it is hanging with the chain. So that's still not in. Yeah, this is installed. This was this morning. So that was the lamp, so I got to get power to it. The original installation had some lights installed, and it came into this box. I added that 1.5 inch extension on it and put 2 switches in there because the program manager wanted to be able to operate both lights, separately. And of course, inside there's only 1 switch. And so everything gets powered up. So we had a little scope creep there. Anyway, so these are the poles I got. She liked those, so that was good. Let me turn that off. So this is the original wiring coming in. The original homeowner used a extension cord, and then this is the wiring coming from the original lights. So that really didn't pass muster with me. So I used some 12 gauge stranded wire rated for wet work and put it back through that metal cladding and installed it. So this is the final wiring. So it comes in over here, comes up, and then so I have 4 wires coming through here, and then the switches are over here, and then I got the LED lights plugged in here, and then I got another one comes up here, and this is where I hung for the swag light. So this all took a lot of time to try to figure out how to do, and like a week. So another feature is this is a bronze gazebo, and the stuff that this metal is like bright aluminum or galvanized color, and so it's going to be very noticeable. So I ended up painting it all, spray painting it bronze, so it's not so flashy. So, and then these lights are made to go in the house where you got sheetrock, and then you got a smaller junction box. So this green thing here is bigger than that. So it's ready to like catch rain because now it's outside, right? So I'm like, oh, maybe I can weld me something. And then I'm like, I don't know. Then where outside a lot of plants are hanging in, this little thing that's had on there now is a tray that goes under a plant. We called it a dish or whatever. It was white. I painted it too, and put holes in it and installed it so it'll keep the water out of this part of it. So this is it installed. This is the light here, and here it is illuminated. So the project manager was happy, so I'm happy. Yeah, so that's it. So it took me about 2-3 weeks to finish that. Any questions? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I get to eat. Okay. Okay. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Wallet guy Earl is now going to come up and show us a refurbished bag. And I believe teaching a leather bag class soon, but I think it's yeah.
All right. So hello. Some of you may know me as the leather guy. I recently refurbished a bag that my wife had. So she wanted a little backpack. I'm not sure why. Typically when I think of a backpack, I want something larger, but she wanted a small one. So this is kind of what it looked like. We got it from Target. Yeah, there it is in all of its beauty. All right. Anyway, so we bought it from Target. It was like $20, and it was made out of like cheap vinyl, and it fell apart very quickly. So the back of it, had this, I guess, burgundy or dark purple look to it, and it's basically it started to fall apart really badly. So I have the strap originally as to kind of what it started to look like. So as you can see, it started to fall apart. It did not look good at all, so she stopped using it, and we were about to throw it away, and then I thought, wait a second, I could just reupholster this or refinish it, whatever, I don't know. And I didn't take a lot of pictures because I didn't think to, but I did take this picture here, well, I guess a few of them. Basically, I cut the leather to shape, and I ended up gluing the actual old piece of vinyl to this piece of leather so that I could keep the inside pockets and everything like that. So I didn't remove any of it, but yes, so I was able to keep that. And now it's a much more durable leather. It took forever. I hand stitched it, as you can see here, in all of its beauty. So don't look too closely at it, or don't tell anybody. And yeah, Do you have any questions? Yeah, of course. Yes.
Did you only refurb the back or all the way around?
That's a great question. I didn't even think to answer that. No, so the strap was also that cheap vinyl, and so was the handle. And the handle was fine looking, but I thought, like, why the heck would I not redo the handle as well? So I ended up cutting the handle apart and also the straps and everything else. I kept the hardware, I guess is what you'd call it, to, you know, the buckles and everything. But yeah, I basically ended up stripping all of the cheap vinyl out of it and replacing it with leather. Also, the other thing is when I was sewing it, I dramatically underestimated how much tougher leather is. And so, like, for probably 75% of this thing, it was sewn inside out. And then the tension right in this area started to get really tough, like really bad. And I was worried that I was going to tear it. So I flipped it inside out and tried to sew it, like the rest of it not sewed inside out. And if you've ever done that before, you know it's terrible. So I would advise not doing that. Just do it properly, unlike what I did. All right, so I'm gonna pass this around. Nobody steal it, please. But that's it. Any other questions? Okay, great.
I think the rise of the machines is upon us, as Andrew is going to come and demonstrate or talk about Terminator V1.
Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've presented anything, but I think this 4th of July is going to be a real banger. It's 250 years of American independence, and I thought I'd do a little bit in style. And so what I'm going to be doing for this 4th of July, I'm going to be creating a robot that fires fireworks remotely. It's going to be shooting bottle rockets remotely, yes. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Flipper Zero, but this is how I'm going to be hacking the radio frequencies for the remote detonators. So, let's see here. Now what you're going to see is, let's see here, saved. Okay, so you should see number 5 fire off, right? This should do it. Yep, there it goes. Yeah. So this is how I'm going to remotely fire the remote fireworks, just because I'm going to have a web interface sending signals to the Flipper Zero. Then the Flipper Zero is going to be sending the radio frequencies to the receivers. That's how I'm going to be doing all of this. I haven't even unboxed the robot, right? This is a tracked robot, right? And the reason I said it's a version 1 Terminator is because from the Terminator 3 movie, they have the first version of a Terminator, and the idea is that I'm going to make it look approximately like that. That's the idea. I don't know how good it's going to go, but it's definitely going to fire fireworks this year. So that's all I have. And if you guys want to stick around for the unboxing, I've specifically saved it for Knox Makers to share the unboxing with you. I haven't even seen this thing, so I don't even know what's in it. So it's been very specifically saved for you guys. So just want to let you know. That's all I have.
Russell, I don't know if you will be delighted or furious, but we have a second lamp share for one night and a corner table. Aaron, come on down.
Hey everyone. So I'm going to show a table and lamp I made. This was for my wife for our nursery. We have like a little corner area that's very small and couldn't find anything that would really fit there, so she asked me to make something, and I'll show that here. So this is the final result. So the table is I made out of scrap wood and stuff I had on hand. The shaft here supporting the bulb is from leftover from some light fixtures that I installed for my parents at their house. And one of the things she wanted in this table specifically was some power so she could like charge her phone or things like that in the middle of the night, you know, nursing the baby, and the ability to like dim the lamp really low light. So that's, I wanted to use like an incandescent bulb instead of a LED or something, that so you could get the really dim light, and then it had to look decent too. So I have a couple more pictures. So this is just kind of like a sketch of how this is put together. So there's just a couple of joints on the leg like this that fit with the top and the shelf. It's just held together with friction and glue, no nails or anything. There's the underside, how the wiring is hooked into the electrical box over here. These little oversized washers are just holding the dimmer switch in place from underneath. And then, let's see, then that's kind of the top right there. So this is a 3D printed knob for, oh, sorry.
Look at the screen. There we go.
There we go. So that right there is a little 3D printed knob to adjust the dimmer, and then the electrical outlets. That's it. Yes, questions?
So a lot of lamps have a pipe running up through the center, which I assume is like 3/8 inch. That looks bigger.
It's about 3/8.
Really? And gold colored like that, or did you paint it?
It was already that color, which was worked out nice with other hardware and stuff in the room. Mhm.
Very nice.
Yes. I probably spent way more time on it than it should have taken, but probably like 15 hours or so, just messing around with it, trying to figure out get the joint to work. I broke some stuff, had to remake one of the tops because I split it right down the middle. So if I did it again, it'd probably take half as long. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Closing us out for the night is Mark, who's going to talk about car stuff. Car stuff.
I don't think anybody ever talks car stuff, so I'm not sure if it's an allowed topic or not. Anyway, I'm going to just present a little bit on, and it'll be quick. My son's car, this is something he got when he was in high school. He bought it when he was 15, and he's now 24. And it's been an ongoing project the whole time he had it. And for his college graduation, I bought him a new interior for it because the inside looked a whole lot rattier than the outside. And then he kind of announced, Dad, the rear window leaks. So we might not want to put the interior in until that's fixed. And so I said, okay, well, hopefully it's not too bad. So we started taking down, took the trim out, took the back window out, and found out that there were some really bad spots, gaping holes. And so we started into a project to cut everything out. None of this sheet metal is available, so you have to make everything on your own. So like I said, some gaping holes, and we cut out the sheet metal. And a lot of what I do with these projects has been to help teach my son how to do these things. So it's all a hands-on thing. Over the 10 years, he's progressed from the point where, get me that wrench, and now he's to the point where he's very much hands-on capable. And so we had to make our own replacement sheet metal after cutting it out, and this is a particularly hard place to come up with metal. And so we bought a Harbor Freight shrinker expander and made our own pieces there, and for both sides, spot welded them in, and then, see if I have, yeah, the other, both sides. And the one thing he wasn't up to, he did all the sheet metal fabrication, and I did all the welding on it. That was fun. And so there's still some gaping holes there, but because this was kind of a hard thing to do with the curves and the tools that we had on hand, did a combination of TIG welding. TIG welding on the, for structural on the sheet metal, and then also some silicon bronze TIG welding, it's TIG brazing for the silicon bronze. And then I went back to a really old technique because of trying to fill in things that don't exist. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they used to use something that I call body solder, and that has lead in it, but they sell it now where it doesn't have any lead in it, so you can use metal that is essentially safe to work with. And so the TIG welding steel and the silicon bronze brazing were done, that was all TIG. The body solder was done with a torch, and then there was, of course, quite a bit of body work there. And then this is what the edges looked like after we got done. I wouldn't call it perfect, but reasonably good and functional. And so this is the edges where all this stuff was rusted out before as repaired. And then here's the back after it's been painted, and the insulation, the gasket is in there. It's like a tar gasket that you put in, and then you set the window in, and then you put the stainless steel trim around, and this is what the final product looked like after we got done, and it does not leak. That's the only real criteria. So essentially, family-wise, what we try to do is just, if we don't know how to do something, we just figure it out and learn. But it came out real well. It worked quite well. And so then I'm on to my next project already, and this was, as of last week, the Jeep has a new engine and transmission in it, and I think I did first start 6 o'clock last Tuesday before I came here, and then did the break-in, so I'm down to debug on it now. So, car guy stuff, I promise I won't present it too often, because I don't think it's, I never hear that topic that much here. Yes, sir.
Hey, Mark, do you hand him tools now?
Excuse me?
Do you hand him tools now?
Oh,
The other way around?
we collaborate to the point where I help him and he helps me. And usually what we do is, it used to be he would just help me completely. Now we kind of work in parallel on the same project doing different things, and he'll say, "Hey Dad, would you?" And I'll say, "Hey Sean, would you?" And so we make twice as much progress now as what we used to do. So it works out. Now please don't ask me how long this took. it takes me forever. Rob?
Year, make, and model of your son's car?
It's a 1968 Chevy Corvair. And the reason he settled on that is, and I didn't show any pictures, I have my first car, which I still have. I've had it since July 74, is a 1966 Chevy Corvair. And I wanted something hotter, but my parents wouldn't let me have it. So the 55 Chevy I wanted, I never got. But I do have other stuff, but I won't admit to how many vehicles I have.
Are you a mechanic, or is this a hobby?
Actually, I'm an engineer, but we're always, my family, I grew up, we're very, very hands-on, and I'm as much into woodworking as I am into car stuff, and I do gardening, and we do house maintenance and carpentry and plumbing, and don't tell anybody, every once in a while, electrical, and so it's just a family thing we grew up with and kind of do everything.
So the technique you use for replacing all around the window all the different types of metal and welding, is that something you just picked up or figured out yourself, or someone teach you?
They always ask me why I wanted to, but when I was in college undergrad, I took some classes in the industrial technology department, and that included 2 quarters of machining and 2 quarters of welding. But there's also this other tangent, and maybe I'll show a picture sometime if you guys are up to it. Some of the large-scale metal additive we did based on welding. But any other questions?
Do you think that you could make a 2002 Cougar look like a 1968 Corvair?
Why would you want to? I think my brother does this stuff too. As a matter of fact, there's another project, and I won't go into it because I'm way over my 3 minutes. But the saying goes that anything can be done, not everything should be done. And I think that falls under that one. Any other questions?
Thanks a lot, Mark. I can speak only for myself, but I definitely welcome more car talks. That was very, very interesting. So the lack is, I think, not a lack of interest. It's just people haven't shared. So thank you. Who's new? I know that we have some new people. You don't have to raise your hand if you don't want to, but if you're new and you haven't been here before and you haven't gotten a tour, find somebody with a red badge or somebody who looks friendly and sign a waiver, and we'll show you around and tell you all the good stuff that Knox Makers is doing and why you might like to hang out with us. I'd like to share a few events. I don't have many announcements tonight, but events coming up right after this, unless I'm mistaken. There's a gravity bar thing. Is that happening? No? Canceled. All right. Sorry. Well, imagine that there was a really cool thing where you learn to make a gravity bar and enjoy. On Thursday, 2 nights from now, we have our new members onboarding session. If you are considering becoming a new member, or if you've been coming around and are on your trial membership but have not done our new members onboarding, you should show up for this. It's about a 45-minute session where we tell you all about Knox Makers and the rules and the fun and all that kind of stuff. It's a good time. Show up for it. That's Thursday at 7? Yeah, Thursday at 7. Friday morning, 10 a.m., there's a stained glass class. There's also one on June 18th if this Friday doesn't work for you. And on Saturday, June 20th at 9 a.m., there's a kind of an open social stained glass event called Pain, P-A-N-E, and Gain. I think you don't have to have an authorization for that. You can just come hang out with stained glass people and put some glass together. So really, really fun time. stained glass is super fun. It's not a hobby I ever thought I'd pick up, but I came here and learned it, and it's really cool. So, let's see. Saturday, this Saturday at 10, we have a Moonraker class. That's one of our lasers, upon which, for example, the acrylic faux stained glass piece was made. Super cool. Join us. Next Tuesday, a week from today, we have our cookout. Every third Tuesday, we come together. We have hot dogs and burgers and veggie burgers if you're inclined, and you bring a side dish if you wish, and we have some fellowship. Starts at 6 with the show and share happening at 7 as usual. And I think finally, Wednesday, the 17th at 6 p.m., there's a book bedazzling event. I don't know anything about that, but it sounds pretty cool and sparkly. So show up for that. And then on Saturday, June 20th, there's a Stitch and Bitch. So if you're a fiber arts person and you want to come have some community, hang out, make some stuff, come join us for the Stitch and Bitch in fiber arts. My only announcement is that we have a birthday, and I've been asked to highlight that. And so our esteemed woodworking czar.
I want to announce that on the 20th, there's also a woodworking 101.
Oh, that.
Not to interrupt you.
I didn't see that. Yeah, well, I don't know why you would interrupt me, Sean. On the 20th, there's a Woodworking 101. It is apparently Sean's birthday, and I've been asked, and I'm sorry, Sean, to shout this out and to encourage people to sing. So I won't sing my voice into this microphone, but I'll give you a count. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sean. Happy birthday to you. For real, Sean does so much around here. He's a woodworking czar. He's an all-around good guy and a friend, and couldn't be a nicer guy that we could be celebrating tonight. And Sean, you don't look a day over 80. Thanks, everybody. If you're new and you want a tour, find somebody with a red badge, or again somebody who looks friendly. And otherwise, let's go out in the shop and do cool stuff. Thanks.